The phone I'm about to show you now is definitely here to stay because it's specifically designed for gaming, featuring cool LED lights on the back that impressively flash while you're deep in your game. What's more, you can even fully submerge it in water up to an astonishing 1.5 meters deep to capture amazing photos. It's an all-terrain phone. Yeah, look, let's put it to the test right now so you can see it really works. You can take underwater photos worry-free, but only up to 1.5 meters deep. This is something only the Doogee Blade GT Pro can do, and we've got it ready on the channel to present to you. And we also have 512 gigabytes of internal storage with 12 gigabytes of physical RAM and up to 32 virtual. Powerful, by the way. Big thanks to Phones de Guatemala for sending it, and to you for always tuning in. And here we have it. Look closely. Despite being an all-terrain device, it also includes a totally free protective case. I hope yours arrives like this. Look how nice it is, by the way. And here we have our device, featuring those LED lights that flicker randomly during your gaming sessions or simply remain active precisely when you require them most. This device boasts a slender thickness of merely 10.5 millimeters. While the rear portion is crafted from durable plastic, its entire side casing features a robust military-grade construction. This section is crafted from aluminum, and it is engineered to withstand impacts on all its edges and surfaces. Well, with the exception of the screen itself. We have this tray-is hybrid. You can put in a dual SIM or one SIM and a micro SD. There's also a convenient shortcut provided right here, giving us the opportunity to pick and choose exactly what we want to include, even the special aquatic camera function. We also have its USB Type-C port, well hidden and protected. Every time you take underwater photos, you have to cover that USB Type-C port so it doesn't build up any residue later on. And yes, the weight is quite balanced. We're talking 265 grams or about 9.35 ounces. And here we have the option to personalize those LED lights. We can set them for music, games, or when receiving calls or notifications. We can adjust the light effects and activate game mode. This feature will be active during gameplay. And to give you a clearer picture, we've already launched a game on it, illustrating its full functionality. And then there's the processor, which is what you'll inquire about. It's a Dimensity 7025, yes, far more powerful than the Helio G200. We have a super powerful 5800 mAh battery. Yes, an all-terrain phone, and to give you an idea, Call of Duty Mobile will run just like this. When would a Helio G200 ever perform in this manner? We can also play Free Fire exceptionally well, or even Bloodstrike and PUBG Mobile. Those games won't even make this processor break a sweat. It's a 5G processor that will most definitely run them. Okay, here we also have the option to run a test. We have the gyroscope setting activated here, but unfortunately this device does not actually have a gyroscope. I really don't understand why they didn't include a gyroscope. For the manufacturer it's definitely a negative, but personally it doesn't affect me. Well, it's not a significant issue for me to say it won't work, as I rarely ever use a device equipped with a gyroscope. The only exceptions are for those who play shooter games, especially those who utilize snipers and possess the skill to even properly test the gyroscope's functionality. However, generally speaking, it doesn't really work for me, and frankly I don't typically use it, you know? What I mean is, I could specifically use a top tier phone, and I seriously wouldn't even come close to utilizing its gyroscope sensor in any capacity. You can see here that we do get good performance, I admit it. It's a bit better than the legendary Helio G200. Just to give you a clearer picture, we're also going to dabble a bit in Free Fire. This game could even run on an ancient blender, and truthfully, we're really going to achieve a great outcome. Look here, oof! We got the victory over here and we're also being stealthy. Let's see if the enemy comes this way. He threw a grenade at us. Well, this is actually how we are going to be able to move on from here. Look, it has this feature that's called, well, the spider web. It's quite intriguing. It leaves you stuck. And look at that perfect headshot. We achieved victory. Inside the box, you'll discover accessories like this screen cleaning kit, as it comes with a plastic protector and informational manuals. Naturally, it's also equipped with its USB-C cable and an 18-watt charger, yes, all this for charging a 5800 mAh battery. But we also have the ability to charge other gadgets, like for example another mobile device. Well, don't overuse it excessively because its 5000 mAh capacity allows charging of smaller devices such as watches or headphones. However, it does feature reversible cable charging. Now let's explore its screen. It features IPS LCD. Okay, we have some large bezels at the bottom and top, and a water drop notch. Yes, why in 2025? We have Full HD plus resolution and a 120Hz refresh rate, which can be set to 60, 90 or 120. It's mind-blowing. We also have excellent brightness. Although it's not going to work well in very bright conditions, it's pretty basic. Then we also have HDR support here, which is a plus, reaching 2K resolution at 60 frames per second. The colors are fine guys, but from what I see, that water drop notch kind of takes away from what makes this device special. Alright, let's now delve into its software and hardware. We have this water drop style notch here, which, as I noted earlier, does diminish its intrigue a bit. However, I must tell you, its Dimensity 7025 processor effectively compensates for it. Another downside is that it comes with Android 14. I hope it gets Android 15. We have 12GB of RAM, another plus, and ample storage up to 512GB, enough for photos and videos. Here we also have the battery information. Another important point, especially for its price, is that we have NFC to make payments. We can also project this display to a smart TV, provided both devices are connected to the same Wi-Fi network. We also get PRINT, Chromebook, QuickShare, and Android Auto. Something that truly excites me is the inclusion of the screen attention feature. As long as you're looking at it, it won't turn off. And if you look away, it turns off, like when I'm reading a book. We also have direct access here. As I mentioned at the beginning, I'll choose the aquatic camera. With one button press, I'll open the aquatic camera. This allows underwater photos, no more than 1.5 meters deep, in fresh water. We can take photos and videos. That's nice. The screen locks to prevent you from accidentally touching it all the time. So you do it with the volume up or down button, and to exit you use the same shortcut button. We can choose an app or even, as an alternative, turn on the flashlight. I will remove it because I do not wish to keep it. Then we also have the option to double click and hold it down. We also have support for cloning various applications, such as WhatsApp, WeChat, Facebook, among a selection of others. We also have the tap to wake feature, which is a great advantage and something I appreciate. We also have a glove mode, yes, for those times when it's really cold, you know. And the fingerprint sensor also works excellently, which is right there on the power button. And the fingerprint sensor works really well. We also have facial unlock, which works perfectly. We just have one speaker. What do you say we proceed with a test right away? The speaker is good. It's a single speaker, and considering it reaches up to 100 decibels, it compensates when listening to music, playing games, or watching videos. We also have dual user support, meaning one for home and another for work. We have support for using it with gestures and also with the 3-button navigation, which is how I use it. We also have an FM radio, but as it lacks a traditional audio jack, it seeks a 3.5mm connection, which would typically be a USB-C to jack adapter. Additionally, we're equipped with a comprehensive toolbox, indicating the inclusion of a compass and a pedometer, which offers the convenient functionality of step counting. Yes, we do have a proximity sensor and it works perfectly. We also have support for running 2 apps simultaneously, making it multitasking. 12GB of RAM is of course sufficient for this. Now let's explore its cameras. You'll probably say it resembles the Infinix GT30 Pro, truly. It also features a triple camera, the main one being 100 megapixels with PDAF autofocus. It really does look like an Infinix GT30 Pro, right? This second sensor is an 8 megapixel ultra-wide at 112 degrees. We also have this third sensor, which is a 2 megapixel macro, and we also have EIS technology, an optical video stabilizer, and this circular flash. The selfie camera is powerful 32 megapixels. Alright, now let's see how the camera software performs. We are able to record in Full HD with the selfie camera, and the rear camera actually offers up to 2K resolution. But if we drop to Full HD, we get EIS tech, as mentioned, for video stabilization. It doesn't offer EIS stabilization on the selfie camera here. Then we also have here naturally the excellent option to use the microphone right here as well. We can also enable a grid lines option here, which assists in capturing some rather excellent photographs you see. There's also an ultra-wide mode, digital zoom up to 4x and auto HDR. But the selfie camera doesn't have HDR, so it just takes a normal photo. Conversely, the rear camera does feature automatic HDR. Additionally, there's night mode available for artificial light situations. You can also take huge 100 megapixel photos. There's also a macro mode. However, given that they are merely 2 megapixels, the outcomes produced will not be of satisfactory quality. We have document mode, group photo, emoji mode, GIF mode, and portrait mode, which we consistently use to adjust the background blur, more commonly known as bokeh mode. The selfie camera also has portrait mode here. It's great that we can adjust that. What else do we find here? We'll redirect ourselves back into more, and then there we'll find the Pro Video option. Look at this. This phone offers us everything. We can modify how we want the ISO range, white balance, and anti-flicker. Of course, we also have a movie mode here. It even has that, guys, just imagine. You also have the option to switch between a 16:9 or a 4:3 ratio, a panoramic mode, slow motion, and time-lapse. That's a good feature. Okay, now, I really like the 100 megapixel photos. Normal and autofocus modes work well. Ultra-wide darkens a bit but performs. Here's a normal photo, then ultra-wide mode, notice it darkens slightly. Now I'm going to test the macro mode here. Meh, it holds its own, guys, but it's only 2 megapixels. On a person, normal mode is fine. Another photo in normal mode, it's pretty clear, but portrait mode does it perfectly with an excellent blurred background, though they are a bit dark. I think a future update will fix it, although I could have edited them, but that's not the point. We also have portrait mode here for the selfie camera, and it works really well. I'll give it 10 points here because it's 32 megapixels. Next, what about video recording? Well, it's in 1080p at 30 frames per second. Not bad at all. We do not have EIS stabilizer here, but it does the job perfectly. That's wonderful. Furthermore, we will also have the opportunity to capture video, but at a 2K resolution. Observe its movement, quite substantial. Consequently, I will now transition to full HD format at 30 frames per second, incorporating the EIS stabilizer. And precisely observe, there is indeed a quite noticeable and remarkable change, truly. The autofocus is performing flawlessly right here. See for yourself. Take a look. It perfectly autofocuses on the tree, and as we're walking, that abrupt jerky movement we experienced when filming in 2K is no longer an issue. Alright everyone, that wraps up this video. Don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, and with all I've shown you, are you tempted to get one? If you're from Guatemala, it's available at Phone, and if you're from another country, it's available at your trusted store. Until next time, goodbye. By the way, it looks like an Infinix GT30 Pro. Let me know in the comments.